writers, today we're going to continue working on our top secret project, and today we're actually going to move to the next slide. So yesterday you worked on your recipe, and today we're going to take a look at the second slide, and if you notice, it already has a template there for you. So all the pieces are there, and we're going to work through this because you are going to write a thank you letter from mom. So we want to make sure that we have all the pieces in there. We want to make sure that we're writing it appropriately also. So to model, I have written a thank you letter to my dad. Moms and dads do so many things for us. So I'm using dad. You're going to write one to mom. Okay. So I did write it before I typed because it's just easier for me to do it that way. But notice your template. So we've got the date, and I've already put the date in there for you. All right. So we've got our date, and I've got the date on my letter. I've already put in there Dear Mom for you. I've already put in your greeting. Okay. And then the last three pieces, I did not put in for you yet. I've put spaces there, so we'll talk about how we can go in and add them. But notice you're going to have the big section of your letter. That's going to be the body. Okay, and then right here, when we say love, because we love moms and dads, that is going to be our closing. And then finally, you will type your name for your signature, okay? So these are those pieces to the friendly letter that help us put our letter together, because we need to know when it was written, we need to know who it's to, we need to know what we're saying, and then we need to know who it's from, okay? And then you can pick how you want to close out your letter before your signature. Remember, we had some ideas before that was sincerely, love, from, your daughter, your son. Those would be ones that worked this time. So we've got our different pieces, okay? So the body of your letter, you are going to write a thank you letter to mom. Mom does so many things for us. So I need you to think about a couple of things that mom does for you that just is special. It's important. Think about those types of things. So I wrote a letter to my dad. First off, I started out by saying he is the best dad ever. I couldn't have a better dad. So I made sure that I wanted to let him know how I was thinking and feeling about him. Okay. And then notice right away, I thanked him for something. So, and I told him, I didn't just say thank you. I told him thank you for. I put all those pieces in. So thank you for always making sure I'm okay. All right. So now that sentence after thank you for, that next sentence, you want to explain what you mean. Okay. So you don't just say, oh, thanks for making sure I'm okay. Take a moment and explain why that piece is so important. Why what mom is doing for you, what dad's doing for you is so important. So if you notice my next sentence, I'm kind of going to explain that. Okay. And so I know that if I'm ever in trouble, all I have to do is call. Okay. So that explanation matches what I'm thanking him for. Okay. And so I did the same thing again. But notice I didn't say thank you. I wanted to change my words and mix up my word choices a little bit. And notice I said I really appreciate. That's just another way to say thank you. So I really appreciate that you came to so many soccer games. Okay? And so next, I explained where I was coming from. Because when I was growing up, mom always took me to soccer, but my dad always took my brother to baseball and soccer and all his other sports. So my dad didn't come to very many games, but he came to a lot. He came to enough, but because he couldn't come to all of them, it always felt special when he could make it to my games. Okay? And so then to do my conclusion conclusion to my letter. I introduced it by telling my dad that he was the best ever. And then kind of my conclusion is I'm just going to add that I love him so much. Okay? So when you're writing that thank you letter, you want to make sure you explain what you're thanking them for. Explain why it's important, why it means so much to you. Okay? So I'm actually going to move over into our document, your template that you have worked on. So there you have to work in, excuse me. So you can click, as long as everything's going to work for me, you can click inside, and we're not going to leave the word body there. We're gonna when we're ready to type, we're going to delete the word body, because notice when I wrote my letter for my dad, I didn't have body written in it. And so I'm going to delete the word body, and now I am ready to start typing. And I am going to be able to look at my writing so that I'm not having to think. I'm just going to type and rewrite everything that I wrote, okay? That works better for me when I'm typing. All right. So I'm going to continue working on this later. So notice that blue box came up around the body. We're going to have another blue box that's going to come up around the closing. Well, we don't want to use the word closing. I'm going to delete and backspace and type in love. Notice I still have that comma there. That comma's supposed to be there, so just leave it there. And then we're not going to leave that word signature there. You're going to erase it, backspace, and you are going to write your name, okay? So once you're done for the day. We will work tomorrow and Thursday. We'll work on editing and publishing, okay? So now you are ready to go write your thank you note to Mom. So think about all those things that Mom does for you every single day. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow, writers. Bye.